Okay, good morning. Aloha, everybody. You hear me okay? Okay. And then before takeout, a couple of things. In the event of emergency during a flight occurs, although the door on the both sides of the aircraft become the emergency exit doors. So take a moment to look at the door handles. Okay, we got Terry and Sherry in the front. Okay. And Sylvia. All right. And Bradley. Okay. Clayton and DJ. Okay, on it. Okay, Terry. You got two handles on your side of the door, okay? One by the elbow, one by the knee, okay? And the one by the elbow, we can rotate it, we'll pop the doors open. And the one by the knee, break the plastic, and pull the red handle, back it up, we'll adjust and the whole doors off, okay? And Bradley, your door is slightly different from the others. Your door is a sliding door, so on your left knee, there's a small handle there. Okay, push it forward, push the door out, and slide it to the back. Become the emergency exit door. Okay, and DJ, in front of you, just push the door handle downward. We'll pop the doors open. Okay. In the event of fire extinguisher is located at the right-hand lower portion of my seat, where my finger is pointing down. Okay, it's right over here. Do we have anybody here first time riding helicopters? Okay. In front of you, we got a little pouch. In the pouch, we got a couple bags in it. You see them? Okay? The airline called the sick bag. We call it the Aloha bag. So anytime during the flight, if you don't feel comfortable, just prepare to pick those bags up and open it and say Aloha. Okay? Then become the Aloha bag. Yeah. You can bring it back and you can take it back home. Take the bags home too, if you wish. There's no charge on that portion. And we do have a 5 video camera system also on board the aircraft. Currently I switched it to interior camera, which is up here. That's why I see everybody here in the monitor. So if you'd like to say aloha to yourself, hang loose to yourself, go ahead. Okay, we do have 4 outside video cameras also, and one guy sitting in the back of the helicopter and holding the camera for us for the entire flight. So just pray to God that he doesn't fall out of the aircraft. We're fine. After takeoff, just a few minutes, due to Honolulu International Airport, I need to monitor the control tower, so I'll be able to talk to you, but as soon as we clear by the control at the airport, we should be pointing out a few things. Okay? Now first, we're going to head up for the part of the Honolulu Harbor, downtown Honolulu, and continue to Waikiki Beach and hotels. According to the tower, in a minute, there's F-15 fighters who are taking off from the right-hand side. There you go. Yep. The children coming behind us. Okay, this is the vicinity of the Honolulu Harbor, up to the right-hand side, Sand Island. This will receive the 90% of the shipment to the state of Hawaii from the all over the world. Only about a 10% is coming to the Honolulu International Airport as the air cargo. Okay, the yellow building area here used to be a location of Dole Pond. Polk Cannery was located right here, but Due to the downsize in the operation, they closed the operation here at the Honolulu. Off to the right-hand side, our financial district, downtown Honolulu. And on the pier, green rooftop area, is the Aloha Tower Marketplace and a little tower with the clock on it. That is the Aloha Tower itself, symbol for the Honolulu Harbor. This cruise ship is known as the U.S. Independent. This is the Hawaiian Love Boat, going around all the Hawaiian Islands. Kind of a 7-day cruise. Okay, right to left, Aloha Tower Marketplace and Aloha Tower. This area has been renovated about 2.5 years ago. It became a very popular gathering place for the local people here. Behind this high-rise building, there's a little green hill, is the Punchbowl National Cemetery of the Pacific off to the left. And a little square flat rooftop with the hole in it. On the rooftop, that is our state capitol building. Right in front of that, there's a small palace that is known as the Iolani Palace. Built in 1892, and Iolani Palace is the only existing palace that in the entire United States today. After the downtown Honolulu is the Ala Moana Beach Park coming up here on the left-hand side. Very popular beach park for the locals and starting point of the Honolulu Marathon, middle of December. And offshore Ala Moana Beach Park up on the right-hand side, we've got a couple of small yellow boats. These are the location of submarine tours known as the Voyager submarines are held here. Off to the left is beginning of Waikiki Beach and hotels, and all the way to the Diamond Head Crater. The Waikiki begins from the Ala Yacht Harbor. The Ala Yacht Harbor is the beginning of the scene of our old TV show. As you might know that the Gilligan's Islands were filmed right here. U.S. Minor departing out of the one of the harbor. That was the scene taken right here at the Ala Yacht Harbor. Time to time on between the reef, sometimes we do spot some sea turtles in the water. Okay, Ala Yacht Harbor, Waikiki Beach and hotels. Here in Waikiki, currently about 100 hotels, 60 condos, and 12,000 people. There you go. There's one right here, right by the buoy. Yeah, there's another one right there. You see him? There you go. Once upon a time, this Waikiki area is all swamped area that Hawaiian people used to grow lots of vegetables in this area, especially the Hawaiian meal called the taro, which makes the poi out of that. Diamond Head Crater, elevation 734 feet above sea level, till about 160,000 years ago. Diamond Head Crater was another active volcano that existed here on the island of Oahu. On the beachfront, we got Halekulani Hotel, Sheraton Waikiki. Pink Palace is known as the Royal Hawaiian, second oldest hotel in Waikiki. And further off to the right of the Royal Hawaiian, small hotel on the beach, that is the Moana Surfrider Hotel, which is the oldest hotel in Waikiki, built in 1901. And from the early morning, there's a lot of people enjoying the little hiking trips to the top of the lookouts. Right below us, vicinity of Honolulu Zoo, Kapi'olani Beach Park. You might see the few people going up and down the hiking trail. Off to the right, and the middle of the crater, you've got a parking lot for the public. You can park your car and hike up to the lookouts. Normally takes about 30 to 40 minutes. Depends on your physical conditions. Off to the left, parking lot. Some of the facilities, you can see the military vehicles here. This is the Army National Guard, known as Fort Ruger. Diamond Head is also a Hawaiian name known as the Mount Leahi. After the Mount Leahi, this area is known as the Kahala residential area, one of the most expensive homes that we got here on the island of Oahu. Used to be all farmland and today became very expensive homes here at the Kahala residential area. Along the coastline, average price of the homes are running between $5 to $10 million. Also, the golf course coming up here on the left-hand side used to be a ranch. Today became the Waialae Country Club, one of the PGA golf tournament held here at the Waialae Country Club. Beginning of the year, one of the PGA golf tournament known as the used to call the Hawaiian Open were held here at the Waialae Country Club. And there's a hotel right here next to the golfers. This is the Kahala Mandarin Orient Hotel, one of the most expensive hotels that we got here on the island as well. Along the coastline, we got this highway known as the Kalanianaole Highway. This is the part of the running course of Honolulu Marathon as well, named after one of the prince from the island of Kauai, known as the Prince Jonakuhio Kalanianaole. Mountain range here on the left. This mountain range is the second formation of the island of Oahu, formed about 2.5 million years ago. Length of 65 miles from the southeast to the northwest directions. The first formation of the island of Oahu formed about 3 million years ago on the west side of the island of Oahu. There's another mountain range located on the west part of the island known as the Waianae Mountain Range. Later in the flight, we'll be crossing between these two mountains and central portion of the island, where the location of the pineapple field. And used to be also a sugarcane field located at the same area, but especially for the sugarcane, due to high cost of labor and world price of sugar, they couldn't compete with the some of the South Pacific Asian countries and South American countries, so they were forced to terminate the operations. This residential area is known as the Hawaii Kai, developed about 40 years ago. When they first developed on this area, price range of the homes were about $30,000 to $40,000. Today, average price of the homes around here is about $500,000. Turnaround point of the Honolulu Marathon. We're approaching the east shore of the island of Oahu. On the east shore, one of the most popular and the recommended swimming and snorkeling area. This bay is coming up here on the left, known as the Hanauma Bay off to the left. There's thousands of tropical fishes are located here at the Hanauma Bay. And straight ahead, a little off to the left, over the horizon, you see another island there. That is the 5th largest island of Hawaiian Island, known as the island of Molokai, distance of about 30 nautical miles east of the island of Oahu. Around 36 years ago, one of the local gentlemen swam from the island of Molokai to this Hanauma Bay. He crossed this channel known as the Molokai Channel. He spent 16 hours in this channel called the Molokai Channel. Hanauma Bay. Okay, it's going to turn from the left to right. Okay, this time off to the right, Hanauma Bay. On the other side, little mountain is the Koko Crater, latest non-active volcano that we have here on the island of Oahu. Last activity occurred about 16,000 years ago. Takes about 30 minutes from Waikiki. There's a single highway, which is the Kalanianaole Highway, that runs along the this east shore of the island. So, but they limited the people that come into the Hanauma Bay, so you probably want to come over here a little earlier if never been in the this Hanauma Bay. Okay, Koko Crater. This is the latest non-active volcano that what we have here on the island. Here in the state of Hawaii, only the single island, which is the island of Hawaii, located on the most southern tip of the state of Hawaii. Largest and the youngest of all the Hawaiian island, also nicknamed known as the Big Island, has the two of the active volcanoes. Off to the left, a couple of tour buses are parked right here. This is the blowhole on the coastline right at the reef. There's a hole in it underneath, and depends on how the wave hits, it will blows out the little water. That's why they call it the blowhole. Approaching the east tip of the island of Oahu, known as the Makapu'u Point. Makapu'u stands for Bowsing Eye in Hawaiian language. And also the beginning of Ko'olau mountain range all the way to the northwest, all the way to the north shore of the island of Oahu as well. And the beginning of the windward side, which is wet side of the island as well. Throughout the year, about 75 to 85 inches of rainfall occurs on this part of the island. And we're probably able to see a little bit more of rainforest compared to the Honolulu. The facility off to the left, this is the Sea Life Park, and a beautiful white sand beach area known as the Waimanalo. To the right, this is the Makapu'u Point and the Makapu'u Lookouts, and the Makapu'u Lighthouse. Little island off to the left, the white one is known as the Rabbit Island, that's a nickname. Hawaiian version known as the Manini Island. Off to the left, Makapu'u. You notice that there are a lot of horizontal lines on the cliff. Those are the evidence of individual flows of lava that came out of some of the volcano activities in the past. Each time flows of lava comes out, cools off, another one goes right on top of it, cools off, another one goes right on top of it. This is how they kind of overlapped at each other and slowly, gradually raise the land and form the mountains. As you can see all this mountain cliffs off to the left as well. Along the coastline, a couple of estates coming up here on the left. One of the estates next to the seawater pool is the location of Magnum PI Estate. There's another TV show that filmed here on the island, starting with the Tom Selleck. Just the left of the little seawater pool there. Single estate has a tennis court in the yard, so you can't miss it. Straight ahead, a couple of residential area. Those areas, special residential area for the Hawaiian people. To be able to live on that area, you've got to have more than 50% of the Hawaiian blood. You see a single estate has a tennis court right here? That's where they did most of the filming of the Magnum PI. And some portion of the ridgeline is the launching site of some hang gliders. We got a couple of platforms on the right at the cliff, edge of the cliff here. Okay, this time off to the right down here. I haven't gone to the Waikiki Beach for almost 20 years. You might know that this is the reason why that I don't go to Waikiki. We got so much beautiful beaches around the island. I don't have to go to the Waikiki to swim. Anybody here watch the TV show called the Baywatch Hawaii? Baywatch? No? Well, we had the latest TV show swim at the this little town coming up here on the right-hand side known as Kailua. And outside of the Kailua, there's a little curved beach. That is the Kailua Beach. One of the popular beach on the windward side of the island. And some of the water activities such as jet skis and windsurfing were originated here at the Kailua Beach. Further up, the peninsula area is the Kaneohe Marine Corps Air Stations. December 7, 1941, when Japanese Navy came to attack on the Pearl Harbor, Kaneohe Marine Corps Air Station was the first U.S. military base here on the island of Oahu, bombed by the Japanese planes. A total of 33 Japanese attack force of ships were located at the 200 nautical miles northeast of the island of Oahu. Within the 2 hours, Japanese launched the 353 planes out of 6 aircraft carrier within the 2 hours. 173 came along this coastline of the northeast shore of the island of Oahu, and 180 went to the west side of the island of Oahu. This is the symbol for the windward side of the island, this mountain known as the Mount Olomana. The weekends, some people hike up to the top. Past weekends, because of that, Memorial holiday, we had 3 days off, so there's a lot of people on the top of the mountain out there. As you can see, they're beginning to drip a little rain showers here. As you can see, along the Kolau Mountain ridgeline, a lot of formation of the rain clouds. This is due to heat of the sun and depends on the direction of the winds. But no matter which way the wind blows, always this mountain works as the mountain wall to hold up all this moist air. So accumulation of the rain clouds are always formed on the ridgeline. To the left, this is the Nu'uanu Pali Lookouts, one of the observation point of the city sightseeing tourism of Honolulu. Nu'uanu means cool in Hawaiian. Pali means cliff in Hawaiian. 1795, this is where the King Kamehameha I fought the last battle against the chief of island of Oahu. After he won the battle, he became the first king of the Hawaiian Islands. Also, some of the Japanese airplanes that attacked after that bombed the Kaneohe Marine Corps Air Station. Some of the aircraft made the little shortcut through that pass of Nu'uanu and got to the Pearl Harbor. This is the largest town of the windward side of the island, known as the Kaneohe, population 78,000. There's a highway going into the mountain off to the left. That is the latest highway that we built here on the island, known as the H3 freeway, connecting between the Kaneohe Marine Corps Air Station through the tunnel. As you can see the bottom of the mountain, there's a tunnel there. On the other side, you have a Pearl Harbor. This is the beautiful Kaneohe Bay. In the bay up ahead, there's a small island there. The local name is known as the Coconuts Island. Also, filming location of the movie, Gilligan's Island. So that's why the second name is also known as the Gilligan's Island. Beautiful Kaneohe Bay, home of the sea turtles. It's supposedly a private-owned island, but past 10 years, ownership has been rapidly changed, so I don't know exactly who owns it today. You see the fighters? Yeah, it looks like a F-18 Hornet. Probably came from some of the aircraft carrier somewhere. Because F-18s are not stationed here, so they came from carrier, must be. all this sandbar area, you can see a couple of the boats are anchored, and some of the people just walk around all the sandbar areas. Beautiful place. A lot of commercial were filmed right here at the sandbar areas. Some of the cosmetic commercials and etc. Anybody here watch the movie Karate Kid #2? You see the little pond coming up here on the left-hand side? That's where they did the filming of the Karate Kid #2. And up ahead, we're going to be going through the couple of beautiful valleys there. First one will be Kahana Valleys, and the Punamu Valleys, where the filming location of Jurassic Park, George the Jungle, monster movie called Godzilla were also filmed on these mountain areas. Oh, there's a couple more turtles right here. You see them? Oh, they cleared the sun, just kind of disappeared. But check it out on the left-hand side. You look at the right at the edge of the reefs. You might see some brown dots or whatever floating over the surface of the water. Right there, got 1, 2, 3. Right in the middle, between the two reefs, you see some dots. Right there, you see them? Those are all sea turtles. You see them? Yeah. Now, because of the sun. There you go. There's one right down there too. 2 of them, 3 of them. You see right there? 3 dots. Oh, there's one shark right there. Right there. Right down here. You see it? There.
I can't see it. I want to see the shark.
Oh, right there. Hammer shark.
Hammerhead.
Yeah, hammerhead.
Can you turn it around so I can get a picture of that?
All right. There's another one behind right there too, right down here. Is it following the other one? Probably like 5'5" or I don't know, close to 6 maybe. Gorgeous weather. So many turtles. Now, a little island here off to the right. This is called the Chinaman's Hat Island. Just the shape of the island. Old Chinese farmer used to wear a little triangular shape of hat. Yeah, that's what it's shaped like it, so that's why they call it Chinaman's Hat Island. The Hawaiian name is known as the Mokolii Island, which means tail of the lizard. Okay, this is the vicinity of the filming location of the part of the movies of Jurassic Park, George of the Jungle, and Godzilla. Due to September 1992, original filming location of the island of Kauai were direct hit by the Hurricane Iniki, and 95% of the island of Kauai were destroyed. So that was the reason to they moved the filming location. Part of them were selected here, another part of the filming location were selected on the island of Maui. Okay, this is the Kaava Valleys. The next one would be Kahana Valley. On the slopes of the mountain, you can Notice that all these lighter green colors of the trees are growing on the slopes of the mountains. Those are all state tree called the kukui nut trees. In 1959, when Hawaii became the 50th state of the United States, those kukui nut tree became the state tree of the Hawaii. Kukui means light. The kukui nut looks like a little chestnut-looking thing that contains a lot of oil. Some of the Hawaiian people used to get oil out of the kukui nut to use it as a fuel to light up the lamps, also use it as a candle, so it's also known as the candle nut trees. Because it contains a lot of oil, some of the Hawaiian people are even today using the kukui nut as a little medicine for the people who has difficult time using the bathroom, so it's also called as the 1, 2, 3 nuts. If you take a single bite, it works fine, but if you take a second bite, you probably run to the bathroom. And I'm sure that if you take a third bite, that'll be a mistake, you know? You ain't gonna make it to any of the bathroom. That's why they call it 1, 2, 3 nuts. And yellow hibiscus became the state flower. Then a goose became the state bird. And the name of the fish called the humu humu nuku nuku apu a became the state fish. Okay, in a minute, take you into the tallest waterfall of the island of Oahu, known as the Sacred Fall. Height of the waterfall is about 1,500 feet. We got tiny ones right here, but not enough rain, so. Okay, if you need to take a picture, get your cameras ready. It's going to be on left-hand side first, and I'll turn to the right. Okay, turn into the opposite side.
On Jurassic Park, is this where they filmed where the helicopter was lowering down into a hole by the
No,
waterfall?
that was on the island of Kauai. There's a hiking trail down there, actually. But 2 years ago, there's a 3-day holiday. A group of 50 people were at the bottom of the waterfall. All of a sudden, landslide occurred, and 8 people got under it and killed. So since that, state decided to close the hiking trail to the public. So there's, well, I mean, trail is still there, but they got the gates at the on the highway side. We don't have too much of a wild animal in this mountain, so pretty safe to enjoy the little hikings in the mountains. Only problem is the gets a little deeper and deeper and more thick and thick of all this forest, so people gets a little lost on the directions. A few times we saw a lot of people that up on the mountain asking for help. A couple of Polynesian villages. This is the Cave off to the right, Hauula on the left. Further up is the Laia, location of Polynesian Cultural Center. And the last village on this northeast shore of the island of Oahu is the village of Kahuku. Beyond that is the beginning of the north shore of the island of Oahu. Cultural Center are owned and operated by the Mormon Church. So behind the Cultural Center is the location of BYU Hawaii campus. And nearby, they do have Mormon temples and the church. Because of too early in the morning, so they're not open yet, I think. In the month of December till March of following year, we have season of the whales. Going around the coastline of the island here, somewhere around the coastline, we do spot, some whales. All this mountain area is the Kahuku training area, north end of Kola Mountain Range, used by the United States Army and Marines. During the Vietnam War, there's a lot of activities that's going on here. But today, just the routine training is going on. Trees on the left-hand side, little kind of needle-pointed trees out there. Those are Norfolk pines, and some of the local people call it as Hawaiian Christmas trees. Okay, beginning to appear the outside, which is the west side of the mountain range. That is the Waianae Mountain Range, first formation of the island of Oahu. Between the Waianae Mountain and this Kola Mountain Range, it was two different islands. The Waianae formed first, and after that, this one came up under the water, and it was two different islands due to continuous activities of volcano activities connected to each other, and it became the single island of Oahu. Today, the total land area of a little more than 600 square miles became the third largest island and second oldest island of the Hawaiian Islands. And between these two mountains, the central portion of the island, known as the Wahiawa, used to be a lot of sugarcane were raised on these areas. The pineapples are still raised in this area, but sugarcane, because of all this high cost of labor and the world price, they couldn't compete them anymore, so they just quit. More they operate, more they goes into red. So off to the right, this is the entire north shore of the island of Oahu, right to the left. And right on the side, you see a couple of windmills. A single windmill, the large one, red and white stripe on them, that's set up by the NASA. It was an experimental type of windmill. It was successful, so they decided to put up little smaller ones. As you can see, the result of all these little ones. Everything is broken down. I guess it wasn't successful, huh? They gave up on it. And the other side of the windmill, on the tip of the shoreline, there's a hotel known as the Turtle Bay Hilton, standing right at the north point of the island of Oahu, known as the Kahuku Point. And coming up ahead, we'll be crossing right in the middle of the Sunset Beach, between the Sunset to the Turtle Bay Hilton, known as the Banzai Pipeline. During the winter time are the most of the time that we see big waves. Towards the summer, as you can see, it's completely flat. During the winter time, we do see some shape of the pipelines all the way to the Turtle Bay Hilton from the Sunset. That's why they call it as a sunset, Banzai Pipeline. And straight ahead over the horizon, this was the sun will settle during the summertime, and people from the beach, they can observe the beautiful sunset. That's why they named it as a Sunset Beach. Instead of surfing, they're doing a kayaking up here because the water is so calm. A little reef area, end of Sunset Beach off to the left. Some of the scuba diving company, due to clear water here, they're using this area as diving locations. And a little cove area for the beginners and experienced divers. You can come outside and it gets deeper and deeper. And a little bay coming up here on the left, that is the Waimea Bay, one of the most popular beach here on the north shore of the island. And behind the bay is the location of Waimea Falls Park. Okay, off to the right. The yacht's been there for about a week. And further up on the right-hand side, the little town is the town of Haleiwa, which is also known as the surfing town of the Haleiwa. Okay, off to the left, this is the vicinity of Waimea Falls Park. At the end of the park, they do have a little pond with a small waterfall. I don't know how many times a day, but they do have some diving performance going on here. Okay, all this lighter green colors of the field. The history of sugarcane goes back to about 175 years ago. Oldest island of Hawaiian Island, which is the island of Kauai. On the island of Kauai, there's a little town called the town of Koloa. That's where they began the sugar business. And also 1835, they built the first sugar mill on the island of Kauai. And sugar business here in the state gradually became very high demand type of business. And 555 square miles of land of the island of Kauai, fourth largest island of Hawaiian Island. Due to so much of demands of the sugar business, and because of the size of the island, they just couldn't meet the high demands of the sugar by itself because of the size. So they began to expand the business to the other islands, all the way to the south side of the state. And the largest island of Hawaiian Island, known as the Big Island, became the largest sugar plantation of the state, known as the Hamakua Sugar Company. But even them, about 7 to 8 years ago, due to the exact same reason, they closed down the operations. Today, trying to replace this abandoned sugarcane field with some other type of agricultural business here. Some areas already being, as you can see, switch it to a cattle ranch. Some areas start to growing the bananas, papayas, macadamia nuts. Some areas are coffees. Pineapples are, not too good either, but compared to the sugarcane, still not too bad. So they're still growing the pineapples here. Believe it or not, this pineapple, plants of the pineapple, has to plant it by the hands, one at a time. Pick the pineapple by hand and one at a time. Takes a lot of people and a lot of time. Here we're coming up the vicinity of the Dole Pineapple Pavilion area that you'll see the world's largest maze are created here. In the middle of the maze, you'll see the big shape of pineapples as well. Right here on the left. You see him right there? Yeah, you can play the game down there. Okay, opposite side. Off to the right, we got a Schofield Army Barracks, Wheeler Air Force Base. Off to the left is the Naval Communications Center. This is another route that 180 Japanese plane took the routes to get to the Pearl Harbor. Straight ahead is the location of the Pearl. This is the old plantation town of Wahiawa. Today, majority of the people works at the pineapple field are from Philippines, so many of the Filipino people lives on these areas. Around 22 years ago, this was the largest town on this central portion of the island. Up ahead, you see a lot of residential area has been developed within 22 years. Prior to that, those areas are nothing but a pineapple and the sugarcane field. I still remember before they developed in this area, you used to drive up this area. Used to be pitch dark, you know, and it was easy to get the free pineapples old days. We didn't have to go to the supermarket to purchase the pineapples. This area is about $300,000 of average price of the homes on the single home. Okay, coming up on the right-hand side, the whole view of Pearl Harbor. In the middle, we got a Ford Island. One side of the Ford Island, there's a sinking ship of USS Utah. And the opposite side, we got a USS Arizona and a USS Missouri. During the morning of December 7, 1941, we had 90 ships were in the harbor. 7:55 in the morning, nearly 350 Japanese planes made it over to the Pearl and began to attack. 18 ships out of the 97 were heavily damaged. 3 out of the 18 ships became the disabled conditions. So till the three disabled ships, which is the Arizona and the Utah, were still lays under the waters of the Pearl Harbor. Okay? Off to the right, those areas are kind of a graveyard of old ships of the Navy. They just get in the whatever the parts that they can salvage from the older ships. Anybody here already watched the movie Pearl Harbor? Not yet? Yeah, there, the aircraft carrier. Stennis was here, and entire flight deck. They made the big premiere of the Pearl Harbor movie. There were, kind of a red carpet stuff, and all the people that invited for the show came around, all over the place. Off to the right, this is a shipwreck here. This is the location, Utah. 54 crew members were killed. This one right here. Up to the left, we got Arizona Memorial, USS Missouri. 1945, in the bays of Tokyo Bay, Japanese surrendering ceremonies of World War II were signed on the decks of USS Missouri. Yes, go ahead.
Was any of Pearl Harbor filmed here?
A little bit louder.
Was any of Pearl Harbor filmed here?
Yeah. Some of the modified Japanese airplanes, they're doing the low-level flying on this Ford Island here. There's a runway there, right? One of the airplane doing a low approach to the runway, the landing gear hit the coconut tree, and he crashed in the runway here during the filming. But he was okay. Okay, this is the Arizona itself. 1,170 bodies are still remaining with the ship. And nearly 50 years after the attack, some of the oils are still slicking out of the ship. That's why you see the little change in the colors of the water here. Okay, changing directions.
Can you see any of the crashed airplanes under the water here anywhere?
No. Got a couple submarines coming up here on the left. This is a submarine base. There's a couple of them right here. And this one probably going out. Got a Hickam Air Force Base, Honolulu International Airport, off to the left, up on a hill. Beautiful pink structure. That is the Intrepid Army Medical Center. Honolulu International Airport, currently 14th busiest international airport in the United States. We got 4 active runways currently, and one of the runway close to the ocean. That is the Reef runway. It's a landfill runway completed about 20 years ago. Major purpose was the emergency runway for the space shuttle program over the Pacific. Okay, now finally we got a clear by the top for the landing, so I'd like to take this time to thank all of you. Found us mechanical helicopters this morning. Mahalo nui loa na hui ho. After landing, with safety, please remain seated. Ground crew will approach helicopter. Get your door for you. How's everybody doing? Okay? Okay, thank you very much. You can unbuckle your seat belts and take your headset off and watch your steps and watch your head while you're exiting helicopter, please.